Folks, in the previous videos, couple of videos, I was talking about three universes: the world of humanity, and the world of lights or the world of walk, and thirdly, the world of eternal divinity or eternal unknown, which is forever. Now, I'm going to talk to you in this video how one can move or pass from the world of humanity to the second universe, that is the world of lights. What needs to happen before that passage can take place? I'm also going to talk about the reason why you cannot really feel the pain, the joy of another person in front of you in the waking state, in the normal world of humanity. So for both these discussions, my first spiritual experience is the basis. So I'm going to very briefly talk about that spiritual experience. Then I will come to talk about the first point that I was mentioning, and then followed by the second point. So first, as you all probably know, or some of you at least know, that I was born in India in 1945, and just before that, there was this World War II ended, and there was tremendous suffering throughout humanity. And in 1947 or around that time, that 1947 is the Independence Day of India, and around that time, the Indian subcontinent was divided into two parts, the Pakistan and the current India, and because of that, many people were killed and slaughtered, and Mahatma Gandhi was shot, and India went through a tremendous economical trouble, and I felt that pain when I was 5, 6, 7 years old boy. Even when I was 3 year, 4 year old boy, I still vividly remember all those days. And I used to ask my grandmother, why these sufferings, why the God that you are worshipping is not solving these sufferings, and so on. And that question was very, very serious question, and that persisted me throughout my life so far, even now. And when I was doing my when I was an assistant professor in IIT Mumbai, one of the very famous technical institutes in India, I was an assistant professor there, and I was 31 years old, and that's when I experienced my first spiritual experience, which is the basis for this talk. And there, I used to sit in a dark room, and used to ask God, because I was fed up with, practically fed up with all the words and discussions of various Hindu teachers like Vivekananda, and also good rishis like Ramana Maharishi and so on. Still, those appeared to me as words, mere words, and I couldn't really feel the presence of God. So that is why I was asking, if there is any God, that should come and talk to me directly about its nature, and also the suffering, the reason for suffering, and so on. So, as you do you remember that in the previous video I was talking about the deep sleep state, which I asked you to imagine between these two palms in this place, and in your waking state is here in the world of humanity, and the dream state here, And when you are in deep sleep, you come to this deep sleep state between the two palms. And when you wake up in the morning, this gate opens, and you go back to your dream state and or the waking state. And you never go. Normally, people don't go to the other sides. That this gate does not open so that you can go to the world of lights, the kingdom of God, as talked about in the Christianity religion. And it's also called Turium, the fourth state, the world of gods, and so on in Hindu scriptures. Now, when I was doing my meditation, I was in the deep sleep state. Totally forgot. I forgot I existed. That I-ness was not there. I was totally in the deep sleep state. And at that time, what happens is that there is a tremendous amount of circular motion around the feeling of I, which is here in the seventh chakra. It was very powerful counterclockwise rotation. And then at the end of this rotation, I couldn't I before I even noticed what was happening, this thing when was rotating at extremely high speed. Normally people will be very scared to experience that, but no fear was there at that time for me. In fact, I was not given the opportunity to even feel the fear, because it happened so fast and my mind was totally arrested. And at that point, the golden light, the seventh chakra was open. There's not a physical opening here. There is an opening to the body of light which is inside. That's what called Sukshma Sarira by Hindus, and that's where all your seven chakras are there in the body, Sukshma Sarira, and that's where all your normal ignorances are there about the world, about God, and etc. etc. And this golden light, after entering into the Sukshma Sarira, it just went to a cleaning motion, cleaned the whole junk which was in my my Sukshma Sarira, the things that I inherited from my parents and ancestors, and all the ignorances that I've inherited about God, and so on, so on. God in the form of a statue, God in the form of human conception, and etc. etc. All those things were totally destroyed. And at that time, I felt so much joy, the greatest joy that I ever felt in my life. And that's the joy that associated with the golden light, and they also associated with the love principle, but I'm not going to be talking about that in this video. Now, when the clean emotions was over, immediately I saw that golden body of mine in front of me. When I saw that golden body in front of me, I didn't feel that joy, and only when that came and merged with me, or before that separation of seeing that golden body in front of me, that joy was there. This is an extremely important point which I'll be using in the second part of this talk. Now, after I saw the golden body of light coming and merging with me. By the way, that golden body of light is the body, the embodiment of the Christ, the golden light. The Christ principle is that body of golden light. It is not the human form that Christians conceive in their mind, the human form of Jesus Christ when he came for first time. It is this golden body, that is the embodiment, that is the body that existed when Jesus Christ came for the first time, and that is what gave him the power to teach, to feel the real love, the eternal love of the second universe to people. By the way, so after that came and merged with me, then I saw attached to that seventh chakra opening, there was a small leaf-like structure which was dark and there was this voice, a female voice said that that's your mind, small part of is left, and this is the mind which normally, as I was telling in the previous video, that your mind, the normal human mind, is rooted at the seventh chakra and is there as a big balloon surrounding your human brain. That's where all your thoughts, fears, conception of all your gods, statues, conceived gods, all those things are there. All your experiences are there in in the dark balloon-like structure called the mind. And this voice, as soon as the voice, the female voice said, by the way, that voice is called Vak. Later I came to know about it through my other experiences, which happened much later. But at that time I didn't know that that voice is the voice of Vak. That's a word. That was with me at that time. That is with me even now, right now. And that voice said, "That's your small mind. The leaf-like structure is your mind. Small part of is left." And as soon as that. That was said, that leaf totally, the small part of it totally vanished, and I saw now the golden light everywhere, the infinite sea of golden light. So I was there. I was so much immersed with that love and light, the joy of that golden light. And now I'm going to use this experience to tell you what needs to happen, and what really happened at the time of this experience, and then what needs to happen for anyone to come from to pass from the world of humanity to the world of lights, the three divine lights, the red light, golden light, and the white light, the second universe, the universe of the walk or the word. Now, you probably, I'm sure that most of you who studied physics will notice this equation. This is Einstein's famous equation. By the way, if you're not familiar and if you want to understand the cosmos, at a semi-scientific way, there is a link I'm providing in this description box of this video, and there is a very famous professor and director of research in Columbia University in America. His name is Greene, Greene, and he is very famous to talk about Einstein's equation, other equations, talking about cosmos and other things to every kind of people in a very, very coherent, semi-scientific way. So please watch them if you are interested. But if your mind is not scientific, it doesn't matter. Whatever I'm talking here should be sufficient to understand what I'm telling in this video. Now, the famous equation of Einstein is E is equal to mc square. E is the energy and m is mass, and c the speed of light, the light that comes from the sun, the normal light that you are talking about, you are experiencing in the world of humanity. This is not the light that's there in the second universe. Now, if you reverse this equation, I put it in a different form, is equal to m is equal to E by c square. And in the world of humanity, all experiments, c is constant and energy and mass changes. But when you move from the world of humanity to the world of second universe, the world of lights, the kingdom of God, this energy is constant. The energy is, you all studied that the energy is constant. Only thing is the form can be changed, but the energy is always constant. So when you move from the world of humanity to the world of lights, the second universe, what happens is the E is saying, but the C changes, the speed of light changes. That light is not the light that you experience the world of humanity, and it is not constant anymore. It's not just 1.8 something, I think, into 10 to the power of something. It's a very, very high speed, which is the speed of light, but it is a constant one as far as the world of humanity is concerned. It is within that assumption that everything is known scientifically, at least up to this point, in the cosmology and theoretical physics and so on. Now, what happens is that when the anticlockwise motion takes place, extreme speed, because of that the value of c changes. That is the first thing that you need to understand. It is changes tremendously. By the way, this one is called which I called in earlier videos as Sudarshana Chakra, which is Sudarshan means in Sanskrit. It is the auspicious vision, or the auspicious vision in this case it's a golden light that happened after the extreme speed of this Sudarshan chakra. And this is the chakra that Krishna or Vishnu is depicted to have in his hand, which by mistake think that it is supposed to kill people, but actually it kills the false I, the false feeling of I, that the ego in your mind rooted in I. It does not kill the real I, the I associated with the white light, the white ray of light, but it destroys that the false I, the ego in the mind. Anyway, so that because of that anti-clockwise direction and the speed of light changes, moves from the light known in the world of humanity, that is the speed, the light of the sun, to the light of the second universe, which is the golden light which I experienced. This is the very important notice. So c changes, the speed of light changes, because the light itself changes from the speed of the light of the sun to the light of the second universe. And when that happens, and that speed and that c is almost becomes infinity, in this equation, when c becomes infinity, you all know that at least scientifically minded people know that m becomes zero, because c is infinity approaching infinity. M approaches zero, and that is the destruction of the mind. In the world of humanity, when you are passing from the world of humanity to the world of the second universe, what happens is the mass felt by your mind, of your body, and of your various kinds of thoughts, the heaviness because of your fear, etc., etc. All those things become zero, and that is the destruction of the mind. That's what got destroyed. The small part of, before that experience happened, after the circular anti-clockwise circular motion, there was, even at that point, there was a small leaf-like structure was there, which was in my mind, which was dark in color, and that gets destroyed totally, becomes zero. That mind becoming zero, because this one was rotating at a very, 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 very high speed. And even for this to start that circular motion, then m has to become lighter and lighter and lighter. And I'll come back to this point very soon now. Now, when that happens, you are entering the world of light, the second universe. Now, this M which is making you to feel rooted in this world, has all kinds of ignorant thoughts that your notion of God is your notion of God, your notion about yourself, your notion about what happens around you in your day-to-day experiences. A lot of ignorances are there, not sin, but ignorances are there. I talked about the ignorances and how to get rid of them. I talked about it in various videos. When those ignorances are removed, more almost everything is removed, then you are ready for the passage from the world of humanity to the world of God, the second universe. And at that time, only at that time, this anti-clockwise direct rotation takes place, and then you are leaving from the world of humanity to the world of lights, the three divine lights. So the requirement to pass from the world of humanity, when you are even alive, to the world of second universe, the world of lights, is removal of those ignorances in your mind, which is heavily pulling you down to this world of humanity. When those things are removed, it becomes lighter and lighter. Then this the Sudarshan chakra operates, and then you move to the second world. Even a small mind is left, as it happened to me. Maybe at that time it was there for my demonstration purposes, to tell me that, hey, this is what your mind, it's going to be destroyed, and so on. So after that time, so your mind, even if it is left small, whatever is left at that point, it will be destroyed, and you will feel you are in the second world of universe, second universe. And there is no form, there is no human being, there cannot be any form there except light, because nothing else withstand that speed of that light there. And then I similarly talked about the white light in a previous video, in the part 2, I think, is of my divine experience playlist. And that white light, which gives you a feeling of even finer, high speed than the golden light. And the lowest of the three lights of the speed, as far as speed is concerned, the red light. That's what I meant by saying that immediately around your body is this red light, and surrounding that is the golden light, and then surrounding that is the white light. All that it means is the lowest of the three lights is frequency is the red light. Next higher frequency is the golden light, and the next higher frequency is the white light. So for the seventh chakra to open, and your mind has to be purified, removed, all the ignorances to be removed, and that allows you to vibrate at the same light as the red light, and that opens the seventh chakra, and then immediately you move to the next level of the higher frequency. That's the golden light, which rushes into your body. And that is what is happening when you pass from the world of humanity to the world of light. And this is what will happen when you die. When you die, all your minds will be destroyed, totally destroyed. And that's what I was saying, that unless you are ready for that, unless you know the nature of your mind, the ignorances, you will feel extremely hell-like feeling, and before you pass from the body to the golden light, which will take you to the white light, where you are born, and so on, so on. So this is the main point, folks. You need to remove your ignorances to make your mass, your in the body, to be lighter and lighter. And that happens, then the Sudarshan chakra will operate, and you will be taken to the world of lights, the divine lights from the world of humanity. And that energy that will take you there is the red light that has to open open the seventh chakra. Now, yeah, talking about second point that I want to mention in this video, and that is, why is it that you don't feel the pain, the joy of the another person, like your father, mother, husband, wife in front of you? Is this, there is only one eye. When my mind vanished in my spiritual experience, there is an eye. That eye is the word of the eye of the word, that is the walk. And for that to come into picture, the false I, which is in your mind, has to vanish. And that I contains every other eyes, every other feeling of eyes in front of you, the eye feeling of your father, mother, husband, wife, everybody. What happens when you are moving from the world of lights, that is the second universe, to this world? That one eye, that is one eye which is in the white light, it gets pushed to various places away from you, because of this one of the senses, Buddhas called Akash. Akash is the one which creates a space. That space is not the space that you are visualizing it, but it is something underlying that. And that is the one which pushes, distributes, moves this one big eye into various rays, going to various play people, one in America, another one in Europe, another one in China and India, and so on and so on. So when that happens, the around that eye, the other four senses create a form like the human body, and that is what you are seeing when you are experiencing in the world of humanity in waking state. And because that one is separated from you by this force of by this by the force of this fifth chakra, that is the both space or akash, you don't feel it. Remember, I said that when yourself is separated from you, you don't feel the pain of that. Only when that comes and merges with you, you feel the real joy, pain or joy of it. My golden body was in front of me, I didn't feel the joy of it. Only when it came and merged with me, I felt that. So simply put, the reason why you are not really feeling the love of you are unable to feel the love of the other person, or the sorrow of the other person, is because of this separation imposed created by this one of the Buddhas called space, Akash. So now you understand how you can go from this world of humanity to the world of lights, the second universe, and also what needs to happen to feel the real feelings of the other person in front of you. And that cannot come and merge with you unless you have experienced this golden light inside you, because it is the golden light with the love principle of what Jesus Christ talked about. It's the love of that Muruga or Kartigaya, or the love of Shiva that the Hindus are talking about. That love has to be there in you. You have to experience that, whether you experience and movement passage from the world of humanity to the other or not. Even before that, when you remove your ignorances, automatically, when you remove all your divisive thoughts based on the religion, color of the skin, the race, the country of origin, etc. When you feel one, then that's when you will feel one with the whole humanity, not only with the humanity, with everything that exists in the world of humanity. Only at that point that one will come and merge with you, because that I, which cannot be separated from you by the Akash and the Bhuta, fifth Bhuta, because you are feeling oneness with that by removing the ignorances. And that is when you really feel the feelings of your wife or husband or a child or father or mother in front of you. Folks, that's what I want to talk to you. If you have any question, let me know. I will clear them. Talk to you soon, folks.